Hey guys, what's up? It's Isaac from the GTE Event Group, and joining me today I have Thalia from Marry Me. Thalia, hello, how you doing? Good morning, welcome.
Hi, good morning, how are you?
I'm doing great. Do you have a great Thanksgiving?
It was amazing because I got to be with family. I don't get to see them very often because, as you know, we're always working, and so, but yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Very good, cool. Hey, so I brought you on today because I thought it was super important for couples who are getting married to understand the importance of an officiant. So I'm really happy to and excited to have you. And for those of you guys watching, make sure you take some notes because I think you guys are going to learn some things. And more importantly, I hope you guys stay away from some of the disasters that I've seen, you know, just providing audio by someone maybe getting a friend or family member to do it. So anyways, how long have you been in the business?
For 8 years.
Okay. What got you in the business?
So I was a notary first, and then there's a lot of notaries that do become officiants because you have to deal with like the legalities of getting married. So it's very common, and basically that's what opened up the route. Like I knew that notaries were officiants, and I was like, oh, you know, I think I could do that too. I love, you know, I definitely weddings are great, they're fun. And then, so I think my background prepared me for it. I was going to school to be an English major, so writing, I write the stories for the couples. Okay. So that was that part. The legality came from being a doing the notary side as well, and then I do legal document assistance. So between like my background, it all just kind of came together. And then also I'm the spokesperson for the animal shelter here locally. So then I teach classes about animals. So I'm used to being in the public and having an audience and entertaining them, and so that was not a problem.
Oh, that's awesome. So I know you worked with my guys. I haven't seen you, and there's one thing you just said right now that I had no idea. You actually write their love story and incorporate it into the ceremony?
Definitely, and I think that's what makes me different than your typical officiant, is that I meet with the couples ahead of time and I learn things about them because I want it to be personal. I don't want it to be a reuse script. I don't want to read to them the same thing that everybody does. I want it to be personalized, customized, and that's what I do. So some of the questions that I ask is like, when did you meet? When did you then get together? Like going through like their whole timeline, and then I put all that together. I mesh it into a story, and then that's a part of that goes into the reading of what I'm going to officiate the day of. Very
cool. Man, guys, I don't know if you guys ever went to a ceremony where there was an actual love story incorporated into the actual ceremony, but it was phenomenal, and I had no idea until right now. That is so cool. Now, do you do that for all
my couples? Yeah, so I think the couples that I tend to work with really care about their ceremony, because if they're booking me, it's because they do want to spend the time to like fully like cover all the details of their ceremony. So the ceremony I take much pride in, and I will coordinate that aspect of them. So I'm not like a full-blown coordinator, but the ceremony, I will make sure that everything is like ready to go. So I check in with the vendors, like, hey, you know, like the DJ, the photographer, like that way we're all like on the same page. I let them know what parts I'm gonna go over, and that way they know what kind of images to capture, things like that, because not every ceremony that I do is the same. Some of them want to do like the unity sand ritual, some of them want to do the lasso, and even those little intricate pieces of a ceremony are important to the couple. So we want to make sure that the photographer captures that, but then also want to make sure that the DJ is also on, you know, synced to us. That way, like if they want to put some like light background music or things like that, then that's going to help them out.
Yeah, it's very cool. So I tell a lot of our couples that anything in your wedding reception, we rock. We'll handle. Like, if you have a coordinator, awesome. We love working with them. They make our lives easier. You don't have one, doesn't matter. We rock. Anything that lives between this time and this time, we got you. So for ceremonies, you're like, anything happens before the ceremony to the part where I say you now can kiss the bride is like you got, right? Regardless?
Exactly, yeah. So because not every marriage that I do or ceremony, because I also do quinceañeras, not all of them have coordinators. They don't have professional DJs. Sometimes I'm the only professional person they have, and so I want to make sure that at least that part of their day is going to be smooth, it's going to be beautiful, because that is what makes that's marking that historic moment for them, and then it's going to basically set the tone for the rest of their day. So I want to make sure that it's special.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what is some advice that you could give couples who are planning their wedding who may need your services? Like, what are some do's and don'ts, you know? What would you share with me? I'm your friend. I'm getting married. Where I chose to get married is not going to be in a church, so I need to go out and find a minister or an officiant. So what are you going to tell me?
Yes. So the first thing that I'm going to say is there's lots of officiants. So you can use like Wedding Wire, for example, and just go through some of their bios. You're probably going to find some professional officiants there and read some of the reviews and just figure out, you know, who you kind of match up with. Once you've narrowed it down, start making some calls and figuring out who has actual video that you can watch of them doing a ceremony, because you want to make sure that the way that they speak and present themselves is the way that you want it to come across the day of your ceremony as well. So if you don't like their tone, if you don't like the way that they do their reading, then maybe that's not the person for you. You also have to match up on personalities. Probably same thing with you, right? When you meet couples and stuff like that, you want it to work out on both sides. So that's like probably tip number one. So kind of weed it down to a few, and then like watch some of their videos, read their reviews, and that way you ensure that it is going to be a professional person. Now, if you are really stuck on getting like a family friend or somebody like that to officiate, then I would recommend that you write the story or your script with them. Don't let them do it by themselves, because it's probably most likely the first time they've done it, and you want to make sure that they say the right things for you. And then also probably look up some scripts online. You can ask an officiant. Like, I'm super flexible with people, and like I'm very open. Like, if you want to call me and just pick my brain, I can help you out. I had a DJ that was gonna officiate for the first time, and he called me like, "Hey Thalia, like it's my first time. Like, I know this is what you do. Can you help me out? What is the most important elements that I should include, and what are some extra things I can do for the couple?" And then another tip would be to include a ritual, because that usually makes it special and unique. So besides the rings, you might want to look into maybe doing like a dove release, maybe the butterfly release, maybe you might want to do like unity sand, the unity heart, something like that. So all those little elements is going to make your story in your ceremony stand out.
Yeah, very cool. And obviously unique to the individual or couple.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. Sounds cool. So let's just say I decided to get my friend. Yeah, I know you touched a little bit about this, but I really kind of want you to
like dive in more.
You dive in more, okay? Because let's just be real.
People are going that route because I think the reason why is some people attend weddings and they probably are trying to either not go the traditional route, or they just want to feel like they have options, or they want to feel like they can personalize their ceremony. And so I think that's why they're thinking that, getting a friend to officiate, I'm going to be able to do whatever I want with my ceremony. And yes, that's true. However, that person's not going to be able to guide you in that process of being able to customize it the best way, because again, it's probably their first time, and it's going to be very hard for them to give you ideas because they don't really know what ideas to even start with.
Right.
So
I think another thing I want to bring up for those couples watching is just understanding public speaking.
Yes, and the other portion. Yep.
You know, how to implement your words and your actions, and you know, to really drive that emotion home. I think sometimes when you hire someone to do this, your job, a lot of times that's gone. It's lost. Like, it could have been so much more special. So, you know, I would say out of 10 weddings I do where someone would hire a friend, maybe 3 of the 10 were pretty awesome. You know, and that's not a good. That's not good. No, yeah.
That's like, so like 70% are not good, more than half.
Yeah. And I see things like, you know, either not everyone standing up and the bride coming down the aisle. I know it's simple. Or everyone's standing up and they don't know to tell them to sit down. You know, and I'm over here in the back like trying to get it, sit down, like trying to tell. But anyways, man, or just, you know, just not knowing the job, and it's super short, and it's kind of like it didn't feel special. It just felt like it was done. You know. So anyways.
Yeah. And so, usually a person that doesn't typically officiate, that doesn't do it professionally, they're not going to know the cues. They don't know, like, at what time do you tell the audience to rise and stand. So those little intricacies, they wouldn't know that. They go up, they stand up there, They do their reading. It's probably very short. They give no cues to the audience. They may or may not entertain the audience depending on, their own personality. They may not be a great public speaker. Maybe it's just somebody who's like that the couple really cares about that particular person, but it doesn't mean that person can, engage the audience or and so that all those little things, they really do matter the day of.
Right.
Because, you're right. You have people that are staying there standing and they're looking at each other like, when am I supposed to sit
What
down?
do we do next?
Yeah, exactly. Like nobody really knows what to do because the person doesn't even know what to do themselves.
Right.
And so that's where it all comes from.
Very cool. So let me ask you this. Is it okay to ask this?
Yeah.
What is the price range for officiants out there? Like, I think since weddings are not going the traditional route anymore, people are now having to find officiants. Mm-hmm. What do you know is like starting and kind of like low to end or high end?
So it depends on what we mean by really low. Like you could get married at the county clerk's like super cheap. I mean, you get your license for $58, which is the cheapest one, plus $21 for the ceremony. I mean, you could do it all for like under $100. Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to have something at your place of, at a venue or somewhere else, then you're gonna hire a professional, and then your professional is probably gonna cost you between $250 to $350. Mm-hmm. The low end officiants that are just kind of random people that are just doing it to do it, they're probably going to charge between $100 to $150. So so you definitely it's not a lot of money. I think your officiant is somebody who's very important because they're sealing the deal for you. Mm-hmm. But so even if you have to spend a little bit more, that's okay because you're going to get somebody that's going to take care of the ceremony entirely. And so definitely try to look at, like I said, check out the reviews, check out those kinds of things. Usually a person that's charging like $100 to $150, they probably haven't even like paved their own way yet. So they don't really have they don't have reviews. They don't have like people recommending them because again, it's just random people that got ordained online, which I did too. Mm-hmm. That's how a lot of us start. The problem is that they may not do this like on a full-time basis, or it's just like a side gig for them. Like it's not something that they value. And you have to worry about that because is this person reliable? Are they gonna even show up at your wedding? I've gotten like horror stories, like calls where people call me like on a Saturday and I'm already officiating another one, but then they'll say, hey, can you please come and do this one because this person didn't show up. And I'm just like, oh my God, I feel horrible for them. Like I'm like, I'll be right there. Just I'm going to finish up. Once I'm done, I'll go take care of you. But I feel so bad for them.
Right.
All their people are there waiting for like an hour, 2 hours until they can get somebody because that person did not show up. Mm-hmm. Because they don't value the wedding or the ceremony. They were like, oh, well, it's just $150. Who cares? I'll show up if I want to or if I don't. And maybe they never even met with the couple. They just said, oh yeah, you can just pay me the day of. And then, but they're not serious about the job. So
with that being said, guys, if you're watching this, get a contract.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, even if it seems so nonchalant, just get it in writing, get a contract, get a contract.
Yeah, if they're not willing to meet with you ahead of time, that definitely is a red flag. Like, they should want to meet with you. They should want to get to know you because they are the person that's going to be part of something intimate, like a very special process. And if they're not willing to do that, then, it's probably not something that it's not a profession that they value themselves. So.
On average, how much time would you say you invest into each event before you out and go out and perform?
So total, it's about 4 hours. That's what I tell my couples. Currently, my price is $250, and you pay me for 4 hours of work. So 1 hour or an hour and a half is going to be consultation. So we're going through like hashing out the whole ceremony, and then the other part is me sitting down and writing your story, going and officiating, and filing your marriage license. So putting all that together is the work that I do for my couples.
So you get the marriage license for them?
They get it themselves.
Oh, okay.
And then I go and then register it myself. So I personally walk it in. I don't mail it in unless it's out of my area. Then I will mail it in. And so that's the work that I do. The only thing that would make my price go up is if it's like mileage. If it's going to be like a far wedding. If they want rehearsal, then for my time to go and coordinate that and things like that. So price is something that it's that's gonna go up eventually.
Right.
And so
Can I mention something right now? I'm glad you brought that up. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you guys, to get everything she's doing at the price she's currently charging is one hell of a deal.
Yeah. it is.
Like,
because so what I wanted to do is now that I have like a great following online, now that I have built my reputation, I am at that point that I definitely want to go up. And so I think what would be fair here locally right now, I think it would be like at the 350. That would be like I think that would be a good amount. But if you go into the Bay, officiants are not charging you 350. They're charging you definitely like 800 up to 1,000 just to go and officiate your ceremony. And sometimes they don't do all these other things that, for example, I'm doing. Like I meet with the couples and things like that. They probably are still that person that's still just showing up and just doing their reading, and that's it.
Right. I actually have a friend in San Diego who has been in the business a long time, and I would consider him one of my mentors, that charges $1,500 to do the ceremony.
Yeah, and more, exactly. So that's so I'm like a baby right now in the essence of like what I'm charging, but the experience I have, and then all my couples can vouch for me.
Yeah, your work speaks for itself.
Exactly.
You know, matter of fact, if someone wants to get a hold of you or even check out your Instagram, what is it? Let people know.
Yeah, definitely. So you can follow me on Marry Me Thalia as well as on Facebook. My contact number is 559-718-0405. I'm very reachable, very accessible. You can message me on Instagram, on Facebook. You can text me, call me, email me, whatever. I respond to all of it.
Yeah, and quick.
Yeah, I am very, very speedy about responding.
All right, so how do you spell Thalia? Because I'm pretty sure people are going to be on Instagram like, how do I spell that?
Yeah, so Thalia is Thalia, so Marry Me Thalia. And yeah, you can find me, and I always I try to be very engaging with everybody that I follow like on social media, because I don't know, I'm very sociable, I'm very friendly, and so I just even if you're not gonna book me for a wedding, that's okay. I just like to make friends anyway, so
yeah, that's awesome. And if you guys need help, just contact our office. You can contact us here at GTE or over at Kapptured. We got you guys covered. But other than that, is there anything else you want to share or someone to know kind of before we end today?
Yeah, so I do have like a list of questions that you would want to ask an officiant that I usually send my couples, because sometimes they don't know what to ask me. Because it's not like they get married all the time, right? So they don't really know what to ask. So I send them these questions. I was like, okay, go over them. And if there's something on that list that for sure you want me to answer, then that way I can, then that guides our conversation. But that same set of questions I can send to anybody. And then that way when you're starting to look for an officiant, then you can use that as a way to figure out if you're getting the best person for you. So for example, some of the questions on that list are like, are we able to review our script ahead of time? Do you have a video of you performing a ceremony? Things like that, things that will help you identify, that this is the person you want.
Awesome. So when I post this video, I'll make sure that I include your email address, so those couples out there can ask you for your list.
Exactly.
Yeah, very cool. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. We really appreciate your time. So I got my little buddy with me today. My dog, she's my companion. So we're just hanging out in your office, and really appreciate that you provided the space.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyways, guys, with that being said, if you need an officiant, so you now know where to go. If you guys need any resources, contact us here at the office. I'm Isaac Atkinson. You can get me on the gram at Isaac_Atkinson_. Office line 559-221-4600. Other than that, guys, happy holidays to you and yours, and we'll catch you on the next video. Peace.